Let me tell you something that most people don't figure out until it's too late. Your energy is the most valuable currency you've got. It's more valuable than money, more precious than time, because without it, you can't earn, can't build, can't dream, can't become. And you keep giving it away. Every time you argue with somebody who doesn't matter, every time you try to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you, every time you scroll and compare your life to someone else's highlight reel, you're giving away your power for free. You're spending the currency of your life on things that don't move you forward. You've got to stop loaning your energy to nonsense. You can't afford it, not if you're serious about leveling up, not if you're really about changing your life. That dream you've got, that vision in your spirit, that's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you focus. It's going to cost you discipline. It's going to cost you the comfort of being liked by everybody. And it's definitely going to cost you your energy, so you better spend it wisely. You better guard it like it's the last $100 you've got to your name, because in a way it is. See, when you focus on yourself, when you really lock in, people will say you're acting different. And they're right. You're waking up. You're starting to realize that everybody don't deserve a seat at your table. You're starting to realize that peace is worth more than being understood. You're starting to realize that clapping for yourself in private is more powerful than waiting on a round of applause from the crowd. You're not ignoring people out of disrespect. You're ignoring distractions out of self-respect. People always talk about loyalty. Be loyal to your friends. Be loyal to your family. Be loyal to your team. That's good. But let me ask you something. Are you loyal to yourself? Are you loyal to the version of you that you're trying to become? Because if you are, then you'll stop handing out pieces of yourself to everybody who wants access. You'll stop putting your goals on hold to prove a point. You'll stop defending your decisions to people who don't even have a plan for their own life. You'll realize that your energy is not for everybody. You've got to treat yourself like a business, a valuable brand, because that's what you are. And every time you let someone throw off your day, every time you let someone rent space in your head for free, you're letting your business bleed money. You're letting your dreams get delayed because your energy is tied up in the wrong people and the wrong problems. You wouldn't let just anybody drain your bank account, would you? So why are you letting them drain your spirit? Let them think you're selfish. Let them think you're distant. Let them think you changed. You did change. You evolved. You're finally starting to choose you. You're finally starting to realize that you don't need to be everywhere, know everything, respond to everyone. You're starting to understand that being focused looks boring to people who aren't building anything. But while they're watching, while they're talking, while they're wondering what you're doing, you're getting stronger. You're getting sharper. You're getting ready. And don't think for a second that silence means inactivity. Just because you're quiet doesn't mean you're standing still. Some of the most powerful moves happen in silence. Some of the biggest blessings come when nobody's watching. While they're out there making noise, you're in here making progress. You're learning, you're healing, you're growing, you're doing what most people won't. You're doing the work. So if you're tired, good, that means you're moving. If you feel alone, good. That means you're no longer in the wrong crowd. If it feels uncomfortable, good. That means you're stretching. Keep going. You don't owe anyone an explanation for focusing on your future. You don't need permission to grow. You don't need validation to be valuable. Your energy is your gift. Stop giving it away for free. Let me tell you something most people don't understand. Silence is not weakness. It's not fear. It's not you backing down. And it sure ain't you being unsure of yourself. Silence, that's power, real power. See, we live in a world where everybody's trying to be loud. Everybody wants to be seen. They want to talk about what they're gonna do, what they're about to start, what they might build. Social media got people addicted to the sound of their own voice and the sight of their own reflection. But the truth is, the strongest ones in the room are usually the quietest. They ain't talking, they're working. People confuse noise with progress, but making noise don't mean you're moving forward. You ever seen a rocking chair? It moves all day, back and forth, side to side, and yet it never goes anywhere. That's what loud people are doing. All that talking, all that explaining, all that proving, and no steps taken. They're trying to impress the crowd before they've even built the stage. Meanwhile, the one who's quiet, the one who's putting in the hours, skipping the spotlight, staying disciplined when no one's watching, that person is moving, quietly, slowly, but always forward. You know what silence says. It says, I'm not here to impress you, I'm here to evolve. It says, I know who I am and I don't need your permission. That kind of silence ain't about holding your tongue because you're scared. No, that's a silence that speaks with confidence. Because once you know what you're doing and where you're going, you don't need to announce it. You don't need a press conference every time you make a move. You just move. Let them underestimate you. Let them think you ain't doing nothing. That's the beauty of it. While they're talking about how loud they are, how fast they're moving, how big their dreams are, you're stacking up your wins in silence. You're building your skill set. You're getting your finances right. You're healing your mind. You're cutting off the noise so you can hear your own intuition. That quiet space you've created for yourself, that's where the growth lies. And I'll tell you this, you don't owe nobody your blueprint. You don't have to explain your dream to people who don't even dream themselves. You don't need to post your pain or broadcast your grind. Most of the people watching ain't watching to support, they watching to measure, to compare, to doubt. So give them nothing to measure. Let your success confuse them. Let your silence humble them. Because when you finally show up with the life you built, they gon' ask where you've been. And you'll smile not out of arrogance, but because you know what it took. See, everybody wants the glory, but don't nobody want to do the work in the dark. But that's where the real ones shine, in the shadows. When the cameras are off, when the audience is gone, when it's just you, your mirror, and your mission, that's where character is built. That's where the roots take hold. A tree don't grow fruit in the first season. It grows roots, deep ones, and nobody sees those. Nobody applauds that. But those roots, they the reason it can stand tall later on. That's what silence gives you: depth, foundation, strength that can't be shaken by noise. People out here trying to validate themselves through attention, but attention is cheap. Focus is rare. Focused people move different. They don't need applause. They don't chase approval. They keep their heads down and their faith up. And when it's time to speak, they let their actions do it for them. You want to change your life, start doing more and saying less. Let them wonder what you're up to. Let them guess, because when the time is right, you won't have to explain a thing. Your results will speak volumes, and the same people who overlooked you, who doubted you, who talked over you, they'll have no choice but to listen. You out here thinking you need to be seen, to be heard, to be validated. Let me tell you something right now. Success don't come from showing off. Success comes from showing up every day, consistently, even when nobody's watching. Especially when nobody's watching. While everybody else is out here trying to impress, trying to make noise, trying to prove something to the world, the real winners are somewhere quiet, working. They ain't loud. They ain't flashy. They're not begging for attention. They're locked in, focused, invested in themselves. That's the difference. See, everybody got something to say. Social media done made it real easy to pretend like you doing something. Folks posting quotes, showing off highlights, making it look like they grindin'. But listen, there's a difference between exposure and execution. You can talk all you want, but if you ain't putting in the work behind the scenes, it's just noise. Don't get caught up trying to be known. Be caught up trying to be better. There's a reason why diamonds are made underground, under pressure, in the dark, not on display, not with a spotlight. That's where greatness is formed, in silence, in solitude, in sacrifice. You've got to understand something. When you invest in yourself, you're planting seeds that don't sprout overnight. That gym you go to when it's still dark out, that book you read while others scroll, that business idea you sketch on napkins when nobody believes in it, yet that's self-investment. That's the kind of stuff that builds empires while everyone else chases clout. But the thing is, self-investment don't always feel good. It's not sexy, it's not glamorous, it's discipline, it's repetition. It's doing what you said you would do long after the mood you said it in has left you. That's what makes it real. Now let me tell you something else. People won't understand you at first. They'll wonder why you're quiet, why you're not out with them, why you're not telling everyone your next move, but that's all right. You ain't gotta explain your grind. You don't owe nobody a rundown on your dreams. Let your success be your spokesperson. Let your results be your resume. Don't break your back trying to convince people to believe in something you already know is meant for you. You don't need their cosign. You don't need their approval. All you need is your vision, your work ethic, and your silence. Sometimes silence is louder than words. You walk in a room and they feel the discipline on you. You ain't gotta say you've been working, they can see it. The way you carry yourself changes when you know you've been investing in yourself. There's a calm, a quiet confidence that comes from putting in the work privately. People respect it even if they don't say it. They know when they see someone who's been in the gym of life, sweating, grinding, failing, learning, and growing. Let me ask you something. Are you trying to impress, or are you trying to improve? Are you performing for the crowd or preparing for the calling? 'Cause there's a difference. One feeds the ego, the other feeds the soul, and the soul don't need applause. It needs alignment, it needs purpose. That comes from within, that comes from focus. That comes from staying in your lane, keeping your head down, and doing the work even when nobody's clapping. Especially then, you've got a gift. You've got potential. But potential don't mean nothing if you waste it trying to get likes instead of getting better. Every minute you spend explaining yourself is a minute you could have been evolving. Every moment you spend trying to look successful is a moment you could have been becoming successful. Stop trying to be seen. Start trying to be sharp. Start trying to be solid. Let them underestimate you. That's fine. Let them doubt you. Let them sleep on you. You just make sure that when they wake up, they see something they can't ignore. Keep building when it's boring. Keep grinding when it's quiet. Keep going when nobody's watching. That's where the real investment happens. That's where your future self is born. Don't be out here flashing potential when you could be stacking power. Because when it's time to step up, when the lights finally hit you, when the moment comes you won't need to talk about it, you'll be about it. Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be seen. The world is full of people screaming for attention, posting every moment of their life online, talking loud about what they're about to do more than they actually do anything. But let me tell you something. All that noise, that's not progress, that's not growth, that's distraction dressed up like purpose. See, when you're truly working on something, I mean really building something with your life, it's quiet, it's not loud. It's focused, it's intentional. You're not running around telling everybody your every move. You're not trying to prove anything to anybody. Because when you start tuning in to your own mission, your own direction, all that external noise starts fading away. You don't have time for it. You don't have space for it. You begin to understand that clarity doesn't come from more noise, it comes from less. That's why focusing on yourself is not selfish. It's survival. It's strategy. You've got goals, dreams, plans, and they require your attention, not your audience. Every second you spend worrying about what someone else is doing is a second you're not putting into your own breakthrough. Every minute spent comparing your life to somebody else's highlight reel is a minute you're not using to build your foundation. The truth is, you can't hear your own thoughts, your own spirit, your own direction when you're constantly listening to the world. Sometimes silence is the only way forward because the noise will lie to you. The noise will tell you you're behind, that you're not doing enough, that you've missed your shot, that you're not good enough, fast enough, smart enough. But when you block it all out and get still, when you stop letting every opinion, every post, every conversation rent space in your head, that's when you start to hear you. That's when your own voice starts getting louder. That's when you start realizing what you need, what you want, what you are capable of. And it's not going to be easy at first, because we've been conditioned to think being loud equals being successful. That if we're not broadcasting, we're not winning. But the truth is, the most powerful moves are made in silence. The most legendary transformations happen when nobody's watching. You ever notice that the people who are doing the most talking are often doing the least walking? That's because talking is easy, silence takes discipline. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should never speak. I'm saying be selective. Talk less about what you're going to do and spend more time doing it. Be so locked in on your path that people feel your presence even when you're not saying a word. That's real power. When your work speaks for you, when your results echo louder than any speech, that's when you've tapped into something different, something real. You see, people love to give advice they don't follow. They love to project their fear onto you. They'll tell you to play it safe, not to aim too high, not to be disappointed. That's why silence is important, because if you keep broadcasting your dreams to people who don't believe in themselves, they're going to try to clip your wings before you ever take off. Don't let them. Keep your plans sacred. Keep your energy sacred. Let the results show them what you were doing all along. This world will throw 1,000 distractions at you every single day. People trying to pull you into their drama, into their chaos, into their negativity. You've got to be disciplined enough to walk away from all of it. Not every battle is yours to fight. Not every opinion deserves your response. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Just keep working. Just keep building. Let the noise pass you by like wind through a closed window, because when you're focused, truly focused, the outside world gets quieter. You start to notice the difference between motion and progress, between attention and purpose. You stop chasing claps and start chasing peace. And let me tell you, peace is rare, focus is rare, discipline is rare, but once you get a taste of it, once you start feeling the strength that comes from moving in silence, you won't ever want to go back. So cut the noise, elevate the signal, tune everything else out. The more locked in you are on your own path, the less you need validation, the less you need applause, because you're not doing it for show, you're doing it for you. Let me tell you something real, something they don't teach in schools and most people ain't bold enough to say. Your journey is yours. It's not a group trip. It's not a community vote. It's not a family decision. It's yours, and sometimes you gotta walk it alone. See, when you start leveling up, when you start chasing something greater, something better for your life, don't expect a parade. Don't expect claps. Don't expect everybody to understand. People will question you, they'll doubt you, they'll even laugh, but let me make it clear. They don't have to get it. They don't have to agree. They don't have to walk with you. You just gotta keep walking. People will always have something to say. They'll say you're changing. They'll say you think you're better. They'll say you're doing too much. But let me ask you this, what's the alternative? Stay where you are. Play small. Keep pretending like you don't want more, just to keep people comfortable. That's not living. That's surviving. And you weren't born just to survive. You were born with a vision that don't belong to nobody else. Nobody saw what you saw. Nobody felt what you felt. God didn't give them your dream. He gave it to you. So why are you waiting for other people to validate it? Why are you waiting for the crew to show up before you take your first step? Let me tell you a little secret. The real ones walk alone before they walk in rooms full of claps. The grind don't come with backup singers. The discipline, the sacrifices, the nights when everybody else is sleeping while you're still up working, those moments are quiet. Those moments are lonely, but those moments build you. You can't be great and comfortable at the same time. You can't grow while staying surrounded by people who want you to shrink. Sometimes, focusing on yourself means distancing yourself from folks who don't see your worth until the world does. That's all right. That's part of it. Don't get bitter, get better. Don't try to drag everybody with you. Just walk. You ever notice how seeds grow in the dirt, in the dark? Nobody claps for the seed. Nobody praises the roots. But that don't mean growth ain't happening. The same way your progress may not be visible to the world yet, but it's happening quietly, silently, stronger every day, and when it breaks the surface, they're gonna ask where you came from. Let 'em wonder, let 'em guess. You don't owe nobody a play-by. Play of your hustle. There's something powerful about staying quiet while you build, not hiding, but protecting your peace, protecting your focus. Protecting your dream from people who don't have the capacity to understand it. Because not everybody can go where you're going, and that's okay. Some people were only meant for a chapter, not the whole book. You can love people and still outgrow them. You can respect folks and still realize they no longer fit the life you're building. That doesn't make you arrogant. That makes you aware. That makes you focused. That makes you hungry for something more than average. And hunger don't need approval. So when the time comes and you feel alone, don't panic. Don't run back to familiar just because it's comfortable. Walk even if your legs are shaking, even if your voice is trembling. Walk even if it's just you by yourself, one step at a time. Keep your eyes forward, keep your head up. Keep your silence sharp and your focus tighter. You're not crazy, you're just committed, you're not alone, you're just early, the crowd shows up later. But if you wait for the crowd, you'll miss your calling. So don't wait, don't explain, don't shrink. Focus on yourself, stay silent and walk.